Next up, we got some Star Wars news. Sorry,
Star
Jude.
Wars.
Jude's like, oh, great. Star Wars news.
Great time
I'm
for me
out.
to go get some cheeseburgers
some
and
drinks.
some hangover food.
Can I go
I'll
with
be back.
you? I gotta tell you.
I'll be back in like 45 minutes to an hour,
Listen,
guys.
the people like Star Wars news.
I know.
All
This is breaking news, right? This just happened this
came
morning,
out today.
I think.
Yeah, so basically, there was this report on the World of Real that says that quietly the upcoming Rey Star Wars movie is being delayed indefinitely.
Oh, no.
And if you guys remember, this also happened to the Obi-Wan series because they had such script issues that they had to basically go back and rewrite the whole thing, and they didn't know when they were going to be releasing it. But this story, so like I'm not familiar with World of Real, but apparently they've got a fairly good reputation. They just don't cover like big franchises. So this is kind of out of their wheelhouse, but they've heard from multiple sources that basically Stephen Knight, the guy who created Peaky Blinders and who was writing the movie, apparently he submitted a draft of the script that Kathleen Kennedy didn't like. And he's busy trying to do the Peaky Blinders movie. And so basically he's like, well, screw you guys. I don't want to, all your notes are basically telling me that I have to rewrite the script from page 1. And I'm not doing that. And so the idea here is that they have a script they don't like. They're going to be losing their main writer. And so like they don't know when they'll have something ready.
I thought that chick.
So what I got out of this really quick was that you said something about a Peaky Blinders movie.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Well, and I've never watched Peaky Blinders. So I need to consume this content.
Bro, Peaky Blinders is so good.
So what I have,
so good.
what I've just realized is that I have 4 seasons of
5.
Peaky. I have Peaky Blinders to consume, and I have that space show that you love.
For All Mankind.
For All Mankind.
Yeah.
That's so good too.
I don't know how I'm going to do this.
I love how we're like, Star Wars, never mind.
Yeah, whatever. So the Rey movie has been delayed.
So here's here's something that actually kind of like, because I wasn't really trustful of the news source, but over on Bespin Bulletin, which is kind of like another kind of like Star Wars centered like news site, they basically confirmed what this other article was talking about. And they even went back so far as, they went back to Damon Lindelof when he submitted his script for this movie. The same thing happened where Kathleen Kennedy like gave him a bunch of notes, didn't like it. And he also disagreed with their choice of director, which is that Pakistani documentarian, Shenoy, I believe her name is. I could be wrong on that. But anyway, he disagreed with that. And that's what basically got him fired, even though like it said that he left for creative differences. And then they brought on Stephen Knight to write it. And Stephen Knight apparently, and we independently know people who basically said that working with Kathleen Kennedy and her inner circle to like pitch him a Star Wars movie.
It's like a nightmare.
Yeah. So like a lot of the stuff in that article actually rang true to me because it reflected what we've been hearing from people who've had dealings with Lucasfilm. And so, but what's funny is that the Lucasfilm PR spin has come out. They went to IO9 or Gizmodo, and basically they had an insider with Lucasfilm saying like, oh, no, the Star Wars movie has
damage control. Damage control
since this hit. But as you know, like you really can't trust anything Lucasfilm says because like typically they'll say like, oh yeah, we're doing this X-Wing movie with Patty Jenkins, and there's like psych. You know,
well, no, they get like a first draft script and they're like, this is awful. Rewrite the whole thing. And everybody's like, yo, no, I've got a million other projects I'm doing. The same thing that happened to Colin Trevorrow. He had the episode 9 script ready to go, and they were like, "No, you can't do any of this because Luke is dead." And he's like, "Well, I'm not doing the movie then." And he just parted ways. Stephen Knight, by the way, guys, he wrote Eastern Promises, one of our favorite Russian mafia movies. He's also responsible for Peaky Blinders. I really like his work. The only thing that he
created C.
He created the first season of C, which we all know is a little goofy.
That's not the best season. It's also not the worst season.
But he's a legitimately talented writer. He's got a lot of stuff under his belt that he's good at.
I'm seeing double right now.
Well, you drank a lot of
Yeah,
vodka.
I didn't.
You finished a whole bottle of vodka.
You just gave our own stream $5.
Yeah, because I want to support us.
Did you super chat?
I did. I love you guys.
I love you guys.
Actually, it says, I loved you guys.
I love the D.
Matt Vader drunkenly super chats his own live stream.
I mean,
you're the best.
Gotta get the ball rolling.
You're the best,
right?
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked because we got a $10 super chat.
I'm gonna move the whiskey over here by me before it occurs to him that he's thirsty again.
I'm thirsty.
No money G, $10. Thank you, sir. Disney probably trying to save money by delaying. I don't know. I legitimately think that they're just impossible to please with their scripts.
You know, what's interesting about this is that when the director came out and said, like, you know, Star Wars finally needs to be handled by a woman and all that other stuff, what we'd been hearing rumors of, and I think Chris Gore actually talked about this on one of his live streams, was that she has a PR company and she's very good at self-promotion, and she kind of saw the writing on the wall that possibly Disney might be shelving this, and in order to save the movie, she went on this like media blitz independently of Lucasfilm. And in addition to that, we also had the announcement of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which is being directed by Jon Favreau. And what a lot of people are saying about this rumor is that they announced this movie in order to kind of like take attention away from the Rey movie being shelved. And so like that's going to, now the Mandalorian and Grogu movie is going to be the first one out instead of the Rey movie.
So what I'm learning is anything that is announced at the Star Wars celebration,
don't even bother, dude. Just forget about it.
That's not what's going to happen.
There's such a mess over there.
Oh my God.
I feel bad. I mean,
I'm so happy I don't care anymore.
Oh yeah, no,
I just don't care.
I'm not looking forward to the Rey movie. I'm not like, oh man, I'm really disappointed.
The Rey movie, yay! I can't wait for the Rey movie, the Rey Palpatine movie. Like, that's gonna be fantastic.
Whatever, man. I don't know. Like it's typical now. It's just typical. Like, oh, that's unsurprising that Lucasfilm dropped the ball.
I'm sorry, I'm so unprofessional.
Are you unprofessional?
I don't know.
Because you drunkenly super chatted.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing about this is that it seems to be mirroring what happened with the Obi-Wan series.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if they just quietly shelved it until they got their screenplay in order. And then they come out and they announce, okay, now we're ready. Because I think they've already signed Daisy Ridley. So like, I feel like they have to go forward with this movie, but they need to have like the script in place first.
It's probably cheaper just to pay Daisy Ridley and just not like the movie. Like, here, sorry, we're not going to be able to do this.
When are we getting a Broom Boy movie?
Ryan Johnson's trilogy is going to be all about that kid.
I can't wait.
It's going
to be great.
In 30 years, when we're all dead and the Phantom Menace is no longer there.
I hope it's after I'm dead.
I don't know. Star Wars is in a really bad place right now, man. They're not doing well. They're everything that they come out with, they're like, hey, look what we're going to do. It's either terrible or it's underproduced or they just drop it completely.
Does Disney need to sell Star Wars?
They're not going to.
But they kind of need to, right?
They should.
Or at least, I don't know, that like they devalued the worth of that franchise so much.
What would it be worth to buy it for now?
I don't know. How much they paid for it? $4 billion? Who knows? I don't know.
1.5 billion?
It's still one of the most popular franchises in the world.
But it's not a guaranteed billion-dollar movie now.
No, not anymore.
Used to be a guaranteed $1.5 billion.
This is an interesting question. I know this conversation has happened a lot lately, but I'm curious to hear, like, what would they have to do in order to get you excited about a Star Wars movie again? And I know, Jude, you're out of this conversation because you're never going to be excited about a Star Wars movie.
But she's their demographic. She's who they're trying to.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right. Because
no, thank you.
She's who they're trying to sell Star Wars to. Sure. But yet it's the three of us that they need to be marketing to.
Yeah.
Because we're their audience, not her. This is a Harry Potter audience right here.
Which is basically Star Wars, but
not us.
With wands.
Yeah.
How dare you? I'm actually reading Harry Potter fan fiction right now.
I'm sure you are.
Do you guys want to talk about that?
Maybe. I mean, fan fiction can sometimes be better.
I guess my question is, what is Star Wars worth now? I don't know. If you were a studio, if you were somebody that had the money to do it or the way to do it, what would you pay for the Star Wars franchise right now? Disney paid $4 billion.
Listen, if they legitimately rolled out, and I'm not saying, oh, they have to fire this person and get rid of it. Like, yes, they do need to clean house. But what I'm saying is, if they hire the right person, let's say not Colin Trevorrow, but a Colin Trevorrow type who's really good at interacting with fan bases and is just like super chill, and they have like a crack writing team, and they've got like a legitimate, like, we've got this movie and it's going to be freaking awesome. And they do the PR roll, they show a couple trailers, and they have the synopsis comes out for what it's going to be about. And everybody's like, oh, this sounds pretty interesting. And they roll that movie out, and it freaking hits, and it's awesome, and it's everything we've ever wanted it. They go back to the old school hero's journey, got great characters, awesome visuals. They've got the money of Disney behind it, and it just kills it. Is it a one-off, or are we back? That's my question.
I don't know.
How many times do they have to do that before you're back? 2 times? 3? They got to do it. They got to do a trilogy?
Probably 2.
2 movies?
Yeah.
So they're 2 movies away from resurrecting the whole franchise? Is that what you're telling me?
I guess. The first movie would be people would be
It'd be
starting to
skeptical,
coalesce a little bit.
Yeah.
The second movie, if it was good, people would like, okay, I'm on board.
So they have to roll out a trilogy, and they have to knock 2 out of 3 out of the park.
Yeah.
And then that third one's got to deliver, and then we're back. So they're 3 movies away.
They're 3 movies. Yeah,
a good trilogy
I would be
away.
okay with that. They're a trilogy away from.
I'm curious.
Uniting the fandom.
Yeah. Kadish, how do you feel about that?
I feel like the thing that's been lacking since Disney took over is a strong producer with a vision for the franchise. And if they can find someone who can do that, then definitely like Star Wars can be salvaged.
Mm-hmm.
To answer your question, Vader, like I think that a studio, if they wanted to buy Star Wars, would probably pay maybe $500 million for it.
That's it?
Maybe.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really low.
Because I feel like the franchise has been so damaged and devalued by Disney. I mean, they already made their money back on their
So Sony could go to
investment.
Disney and go, hey, man, I'll give you
$500 million.
$500 million for the Star Wars franchise. Well, Disney's going to go, okay.
Name a Star Wars movie that has actually made a profit since Disney has taken over.
I don't know.
It's probably
since Disney took
Rogue
over?
One, maybe? I'm not sure.
It was probably like The Force Awakens,
The Force Awakens
and Rogue
for sure.
One.
And Rogue One.
Yeah.
And maybe The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi probably made a profit just because nobody knew what they were walking into. Yeah.
But when you factor in all the TV shows and stuff like that, the TV shows were a money sink. They didn't do anything for Disney Plus. The movies, like after Solo, like none of the movies made money. Even the Rise of Skywalker, because the budget was so out of control, didn't make any money. Like nobody is excited about Star Wars anymore.
No.
So like, how do you factor that in? Like, look at the merchandise sales. Like, are the merchandise sales even hitting the numbers that they used to?
I haven't bought a single Star Wars toy since The Force Awakens.
You used to collect the pop figures.
I did.
Yeah, I remember you when we first met, you were still doing that.
I bought way more shit before that too, and I got rid of all of them.
I think the last thing you bought was like the Echo Base pop figure thing or whatever.
Those are pretty cool.
Yeah,
yeah. The
ones with the Wampa.
The Empire Strikes Back Anniversary, limited edition pops. Those were actually pretty neat.
Yeah,
but
I'm as jaded as you are. I'm actually surprised to hear that you said like 2 good movies. A solid trilogy would bring you back. That's pretty.
We want to like Star Wars.
Oh yeah, we all do.
Yeah. We just want it to be better. We just want it to be good. It's not good right now.
No.
It's Power Rangers Vespa races in the middle of the fucking desert right now. It's crazy bad right now. It's stupid bad.
Yeah.
And I want them to move forward. I want them to go past the sequel timeline and give us new stories. As
I don't have to have
a
Skywalker story.
No, I think
I just want a good story.
Yeah, Skywalkers can be.
Give me Sith, give me Jedi, give me some space Yahtzees, and I'm good. I'm good. That's all I want.
I had this idea in my head. This is more of a fan fiction than anything else, but like far in the future, in Star Wars in the timeline, and the Skywalker saga that we know, the original trilogy, has become like a myth and a legend. And the young Jedi hero, whatever, has to go back and like rediscover all these things about how did the Empire fall and how did this happen and who was Luke Skywalker.
I have to give a shout out to Farnsworth. He went to the Wade movie.
Yeah, Wade. Wade. Know, they kind of went off the rails when they started figuring out that Jedi can pull, Star Destroyers
they went full
out
video
of
game.
orbit into the ground. It's ridiculous.
It's cool when it's in a video game because you get to like rip a Star Destroyer out of the sky. But when you put it in a movie, it's like, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
Darth Vader like threw a couple of hunks of metal at Luke. Let's chill.
Let's relax. I agree totally.
Anyway, that's all. I don't want to bore Jude anymore. She's like so checked out of Star Wars at the moment. We've got to move on. Hey, folks, thanks so much for watching this live stream. If you want to watch our previous live stream, make sure to click right here. Or if you would like to check out one of our favorite highlights, click right here.